I usually post my makeup videos in my shopping group, so if you're not part of that, you should go over there. But I'm going to do a little makeup tutorial for you guys today. So hopefully if you're not over there and you're not seeing some of my posts, you'll catch this one and hop over. But I'm just going to get ready and you get to just hang out with me. So I'm just doing like an everyday look, my basic thing that I do every single day. It's super easy. It's a really quick. Anybody can do it. And I always start with, hi Winter, I always start with our Silk Pore Minimizer. It's from Senegence, which is the company that makes Lipsense. Hi Charisse. This is an amazing way to kind of perfect your palette when you're putting your makeup on. I know that I have some deeper pores in my nose. And I've got a little bit of fine lines under my eyes, not too bad, but this helps fill them in. And when you're putting on your foundation, it just goes on really, really smooth. Hi, Courtney. So I just use a teeny little dab, a little bit. This will last me probably like three months. So when you apply any sort of primer, you want to make sure you apply downward, because as you apply it downward, it's going into your pores. If you were to then rub up, you'd be lifting the primer out of your pores. So anytime you're using any sort of primer or pore minimizer, you want to make sure that you apply downwards and you don't rub a ton. Just a little bit to even it out and spread it out is good. And then I let that dry for just a second. And the next step that I do is our color correcting tinted moisturizer. When you have huge bags, you use candlelight, Stacy. Candlelight will cover up those bags. And you get more sleep. You make your husband get up with the kids instead of you. That'll help too. This is our tinted moisturizer. I use this underneath my foundation because my skin is just a little bit dry right now because it's winter. But also I have, you can see I've got hyperpigmentation from being in the sun and using the tanning bed when I was younger and not so smart. And then also pregnancy's given me a little bit of melasma. So I use this to help correct that color without, it's not cakey at all, it's super light. And that just kind of helps make my skin, it's like the idea is putting on layers, right? Instead of doing one thick cakey layer, you want to do a couple of thin layers, and that helps you really make sure you get good coverage. You're going to look more awake, you're going to look healthier, and it just helps. Instead of caking and covering up what you have, it just helps even things out, which I love. So I use a beauty blender to apply it because you want to keep your hands away from your face as much as possible. You touch things all day long. That's where a lot of acne comes from, is the habit of touching your face, and I go like this a lot, and so I have I break out on my chin as a result of it. So just try to keep your hands off your face. Hi Leah. And also wash your tools as often as you can. I use let me grab it. Ugh. Every day when I'm using my brushes, I use this e.l.f. daily brush cleaner and cleanser all in one. So I use that and I just spray it on my brush, and then I just kind of wipe my brush on a washcloth or a towel, and it removes the product really easily, and it disinfects. So when you go to actually give your brushes a really good cleaning with soap and water, it comes off a lot easier. Yes, honey?
Can I have screen time for a minute?
You can have it when I'm finished, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Mommy and my baby want to watch screen time.
Okay, when I'm done, she can watch. Why don't you guys have screen time at the TV with Sophia?
No, I want screen time on the tablet.
Okay, so you can see.
Mommy.
Hold on, please. I need you to wait. It's not covering, it's just evening things out. Without and with. So even if I was in a hurry, I could just do this and feel pretty good about my skin.
Bedity.
Bobbity.
Bedity. Bobbity. Boo. Bedity. Bobbity. Boo. Beb. Addy. Bedity. Bobbity. Boo.
And if you guys have questions about anything, I'm happy to answer them. If there's something. Okay, Kenny, I need you to go in the other room, baby. Careful. Thank you. Make sure you get in the creases of your nose. That's where sometimes people will get flakiness or it's caked right there, so make sure to get in there. I like this blender because it has a pointy end. I have some other ones that are not as pointy, and this helps to get like in the corner of your eye. So look for one that's like that. Target, I'm pretty sure, has these blenders too. They're like $5. And they have some that go all the way up to like 25. And I think this cheap one works just fine. So unless you're like a professional makeup artist, I don't think you really need to spend that much on a blender. Okay, so there's my color correcting tinted moisturizer. We have it in medium and light. So if you're super light complected, you could use that. Next, I'm going to go in with our foundation. Our foundation, all of our products, all of our cream products are actually anti-aging. So not only are you making your skin more beautiful from the outside, you are from the inside. So again, I just use my blender, and you want to blot instead of rub. So don't rub it around, you want to blot. See, so there's just with, so this is better, just with the tinted moisturizer. And here's the foundation. And our foundation has the same technology as our lipstick. So we're going to be hearing bibbidi boppity boo this whole video. It has the same technology as our Lipsense. So that means that it molecularly bonds to your skin. So you're not going to have, it's not going to rub off, it's not going to settle into lines. I look literally exactly the same. Make sure you're blending into your neck so you don't have a weird line. I look exactly the same at the end of the day as I do at the beginning of the day. And I have a couple of videos where like we went to Disneyland, it was super hot, I was sweating because I was pushing a stroller with a broken wheel, and it was like 100, and I still, yes, with you in it, and I still literally, like, my makeup looked exactly the same. That's what I hate, is when you put on your makeup and halfway through the day you go look at yourself and you're like, what happened? It did not look like that this morning when I put it on. So you just blot this around. See how that just evens things out. Get your hairline. Don't forget your ear. Kennedy, I need you to go to the other room, please. Go see what you can help Anna with.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I want to go back to my toy.
Okay, you can come back when I'm done, okay?
Okay.
Or take your toys with you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Take my toys with me.
Oh, such a good idea. Okay, so I'm just going to check that out in a mirror. Everything looks blended. And then I'm going to go through and highlight under my eyes. I find that if I skip this step, it makes a really big difference in my overall look. I look a little bit more tired. Brightening up your under eye, it changes your whole face. So if you're not doing this, find a concealer. We have a great one. It's actually white. I don't have it out here. It's a tube of white concealer, and you custom mix it with your foundation. So what I did is I used an old concealer tube, and I custom mixed my under eye. If you were going to conceal like a blemish, then you would add a little bit more foundation than you would for highlighting. And you want to do a rectangle, what's this, triangle underneath your eye. Kind of like a clown, right? Right here. Because you want to get this whole area, and you want to get the top of your cheekbone because you want to highlight that part. Beautiful, right? So pretty. Take your blender, and I use, so this is the side that I was using for my foundation. I'm going to use this side for this because if you're just going to mix the same color foundation with your highlighter, you're going to end up with the same exact color. And you want this to be a little bit brighter. So I'm just gently into the corner of my eye. You're just dabbing, and make sure you get all the way up to the lash line. And I should have just put it on this side so you can see the difference, but oh well. Hey Jackie. So you can see so much brighter, right? So if you have really tired looking eyes, or you just didn't sleep very well because your kids are crazy, like mine. Kennedy wakes up at 12 and thinks it's a party. Make sure you're blending really well. You want it to blend right into your foundation. You don't want there to be any like definite line. Okay, so highlighter under the eye. And when I put my powder on, it's going to blend even better. I'm going to do a tiny bit of highlighting down my nose. So if you want to make your nose look a little bit skinnier, and then you want to look a little sun-kissed, you're going to do it right there. So, and then blend up. You want the part of your face that the sun would naturally hit would be here to be just a little bit darker than the rest of your skin. So that's why we're highlighting this area, and then we're going to shade the other area. Okay? And then if you want to make your lip look a little bit bigger, you would do right here and right here. Okay, so we're gonna do, that's my mom, powder. So our powder comes in this really handy brush. You just tap your powder into your brush and apply. So, and this is translucent, so you don't, it's not like you need a color that matches. Translucent works with everything. Hi Erica, did you have your baby? I missed you at the office the other day. There you go. So you can see my skin just looks so much more polished, right? So even though you can still see some of my coloration, it just looks really natural. It doesn't look like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with your face? Right? Okay, so we're going to do some contouring. And I have this brush that I'm going to apply my contour with. And then this one I'm going to blend it with. And I don't have what I want to use, so I'm going to improvise. Oh, here, we'll use this. So this is one of our darker shades of foundation. You can use so many things to contour. You can use a bronzer, you can use foundation, you can use actual contour product, but literally just as long as there's something that's creamy or a shadow that's a little bit darker than your skin, it'll work. So this is a little bit darker, a lot darker. And I'm just going to pump a tiny bit. I'm actually going to do it, where's my mix? Oh, on my palette. So I have this little metal palette that I mix things on if I don't want them directly on my skin. So I'm just going to pump a tiny bit.
I'm gonna put it now.
Nope. And I'm going to dab my brush in.
Why?
And I'm going to like brush it off. There we go. Because you don't want, hey, you need to wait till I'm finished, honey.
Okay,
And then I'm going to,
can you do mine when you're
right
done?
there.
Can you do mine when you're done?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mom. Don't you need this? Mommy, I just love these wedges. They're so strong.
Hey, darling, I need you to go into the other room.
I need to do my makeup.
So, here's without contouring, just flat, right? And here's with. So you just want it to be a little bit of shadow underneath. So when you turn, you can see a little bit of shadow, and then it's just kind of flat. And if you are scared to try contouring, just do a little bit and work from there. So if you feel a little self-conscious about it, just add a tiny bit right here and blend, blend, blend. And then as you get more comfortable using it, then you can add more. Perfect. Okay. So then I'm going to add a little bit where I would be suntanned naturally. So there's a little line, and I'm going to go through and blend.
Mom, you're getting it in your hair.
I know.
Why?
Because you want it to be close to your hairline.
Okay. Same.
Really blending is the key. And then I'm going to go, so my nose is hard to tell here, it's crooked. So I'm going to contour to help even it out. So if you're looking dead on, I need to bring this side in a little bit and this side down. So I'm going to do my contour a little lower on this side. And I'm just taking a little bit of color. And then I'm going to do this one a little bit higher, closer to the bridge of my nose. And then it just helps. See how it kind of evens it out a little bit? Then you're going to blend. Okay, so it adds, like I said, it adds a little bit of dimension. It's lighter here and here. I've got some lightness here and here. And so it just helps make your face a little bit more interesting. And then blend down with your little blender. Good job. Kennedy's doing the exact same thing. She's excellent at this. You could teach this class, Kennedy. And then I want to add a little bit of highlighter.
Mom, you're just doing it with this little bowl.
Excellent job. This is our pearlizer. It's our foundation with like this beautiful shimmer. And I'm just going to dab.
Mommy.
I keep wanting to
Mommy,
put it on
now
my
I'm
hand.
doing my eyes.
Okay, so you're going to dab your pearlizer. And I'm just going to dab and blend. This is super because it's with foundation. It's really easy to blend. Dab. See how that totally catches the light? And then here on the top of my cheekbones. And then I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do some on my Cupid's bow, which is right at the top of your lip. And then down here. Perfect. And when you're doing your makeup, I suggest keeping a mirror close so you can look in the natural light and see how things look. Because you want to, sometimes it'll look blended in the mirror, and then you walk out into your living room and you're like, whoa, something is wrong here.
Mommy,
Okay, so.
can you show me how you open this?
Yeah.
Again, just a little.
That one is not open.
Like a little bit.
There you go, that one opens. Okay, so blush. I use our Shadow Sense for my blush. I love that. So I used, using this for, this is a pink color, and it's a cream to powder finish. So it's easy to blend because it's a cream, and then it stays really beautifully and blends really nice because it ends up being a powder. So I'm going to do right at the lower part of my cheek instead of way up here by my eye because I want that to stay highlighted. I'm going to do 2 little dots. And then I'm just going to blend.
Mommy, here's what I'm going to do.
So you want it to kind of meet your contour color. So you want it to be your bright blush on top and then your darker contour on the bottom.
Mom, here's what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
Doing my makeup.
Oh, good.
With these 2 makeup brushes,
Oh, yeah?
which is probably incense with these colors I got. Blue and pink.
Perfect.
Good.
And you can see how that rosy color makes my eyes pop a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so my face is pretty much done. I'm going to do eyes. And I
Mom,
always...
Mom, I already did eyes.
Perfect.
With
I always
this-
start with
with
candlelight.
this brush.
I know. She loves to chit chat, Shannon. Okay, so this is candlelight. This is another one of our eyeshadows. I used our pink Posy is what I used on my cheek. This is a really good neutral. You can use that to contour, not contour, to highlight underneath your eye if you need a little bit more coverage. And a teeny tiny bit goes a really long way. So you just, see how that totally brightened that? You just tap, 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 and then apply. And I go from the corner of my eye all the way out because I will go back and clean that up later if I need to. But look at what a difference. My eyebrow even looks higher. So tap, tap, tap. And a tiny, tiny bit goes a long way. I started out by like putting this on my eye and I was like, holy smokes, it's not blending. What is wrong? And I realized it's because I was using way too much product. I've had this for 6 months and there's still a ton in the tube and it's not dried out. Into the corner. So this is a perfect base for most people. If you are, if your skin tone tends to be a little ruddy, which is like redness, this one's gonna pull a little bit pink.
Yeah.
And instead we have another one that's called Sandstone that I would use instead. So if you tend to have pink skin, there's a different one that I would use. Now I want to have like a little bit of shimmer and highlight. So I'm using another one that's called Sandstone Shimmer Pearl.
Are going to be two.
And I'm doing a little bit of that all over. So this is just going to catch the light even more because it has a little bit of shimmer in it.
I'm going to use this.
And then I just cover. This by itself doesn't have enough pigment to really stand on its own. So that's why it would just make my skin look shimmery. So that's why I use Candlelight first and then I do this on top. Okay, so my favorite eyeshadow that I don't even want to show you because it's out of stock, but I'm going to anyways because I use it every day. It's called Shimmer Copper Rose. And if you have blue eyes, this is so, so beautiful. Anything with a little bit of an orange undertone will make your eyes pop. And because it's this rose gold, you can see it has that little bit of orange undertone. So I'm just applying from the outside corner in, and I'm stopping right here because I don't want my entire lid to look like this. I'm just going on the outside. And I'm taking it all the way out here because you can go through and clean that later. You don't want to try to make a really good line right there just by blending because it's going to be difficult. So, shh. Here's one eye.
And I'm going to blend
tap, tap,
it in.
And do the other eye.
When I did double blush, I'm going to blend it in.
And make sure you get up here. You don't want your entire eyelid, especially since I have you can see a lot of my eyelids. Some people, their upper eyelid it comes down further. If you have a lot of space up there, use it. And blend your eyeshadow all the way up.
Okay.
So,
now
there's that.
We're doing
And I think it looks really pretty to do a little bit. I'm just taking an eyeliner brush and I'm going to line my lower lash with it.
Okay.
It gives a really pretty sparkle.
Now doing a little.
And a little bit of smokiness. Yes, Kenny's in the background doing her own makeup, huh, Kenny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm taking a smaller blending brush. Hi, Clancy. And Garnet, which is our matte dark brown.
Mommy,
And yes, honey.
I'll get this to the other side.
Oh, it doesn't open. And I'm going to tap this in the corner.
When you just do with our fingers.
Uh-huh. And then I'm going to start blending. You wouldn't stick it on and then start going all the way over because then you're going to end up with this really dark line that you've got to try and blend. So when you tap in the corner, it deposits the color where you want it darkest. And then you go ahead and blend in. And I'm keeping it there on the outside. You can see it just kind of, see the difference? It lifts your eyes.
Don't you?
No, I don't need that one today.
But I want to look at the color.
Okay.
Open it up.
And you guys, when in doubt, just keep blending. If you don't like the way it looks, keep rubbing.
Mommy, what is this? Mom, what is?
So there's
Mama,
with Garnet and without
this?
Kenny.
What is this is for?
It's eye cream, honey.
Mom, how do you put eye cream on?
With your finger.
I'm put it on.
You have to wait till I'm finished because I don't want you to dig into it.
I'm not. I'm just gonna just do a little bit.
Just tap tappy.
Okay. Tap, tappy, tappy tap.
And then put it on your eyelid. Close your eye. Doing 2 tutorials at once, right? Teaching her how to use eye cream and teaching you guys how to do shadow. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do for shadow. I'm not going to do anything super dark. And to go clean up that line, I take a small foundation brush and my foundation, and I squirt just a little bit on my palette, otherwise I'd end up with a ton of stuff on my hand. And you just dip a little bit and I wipe it off. And then you just brush this up and then blend out.
Blend it in now.
So you see how that makes a really nice line?
Blend it in now.
And this just kind of fades out into nowhere.
Okay, I'm gonna go blend it in now.
Okay, blend it in now. And blend. There you go. I have a shadow over here.
Okay.
There we go. So now I'm ready for eyeliner. We're going to do a super thin line. Where's my, there we go. And I use our black shadow, which is called Onyx.
It's
and I'm going to line.
kind of like a super wear and pen.
Yeah. I'm going to line the inside of my eye
And looks like
instead of doing the outside. I've been watching a lot of YouTube tutorials and figuring out kind of like what I want to try. And I see a lot of people doing the liner on the inside, and I really liked how it looks. So that's what we're trying today. If you guys are interested in doing something different, watch a YouTube video of somebody doing their makeup. You can learn a ton of really good tips and what not to do too.
All by yourself is.
All by yourself is.
Mama, I'm doing mine by myself.
Good job.
Without any help.
Oh, you're so good at that. And make sure that you're getting the corner of your eye too. There we go. So there's the bottom, and I'm going to do just a super thin layer on top.
How do I look?
You look beautiful. I have false eyelashes. So, let's do
I just
this.
like to do this all over again. I just like to do this all over again. Is this a powder?
Uh-huh.
Cream powder.
There we go. So, just a really thin line. Big smoky eyes are great for when you're going out for the evening, but at daylight it looks like a little bit much. So during the day, a really thin layer of eyeliner is perfect. You don't need to smoke it out or blend it out. Just a little bit goes a long way. And sometimes it can even make your eye look smaller, which nobody wants.
Get a blend in there.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to put on some mascara. And I really love our mascara. It's more of a gel-based mascara instead of one that dries and gets flaky. So I really like how it doesn't flake off and you don't end up with it like under your eye later in the day.
Now I'm doing a little bit of...
And I have extensions, so I just do one thin coat to help keep them in place. If you wanted to build, you could do even more, but this just kind of keeps them where they're supposed to be. On this side, for some reason, my lashes tend to fall off faster. So I'll do, I have one section on the outside where I'm missing some lashes, so I'll build up my regular lashes to blend in a little bit more.
Mommy?
So there's the inside, and then we're going to build
Mommy,
up
can
these...
I have a wipey?
No, I don't have a wipey. We're going to build up these outer lashes.
Mommy, can you just give me a wipey for sure? Because I got a little bit out.
No. You can go to the bathroom and wash your hands if you like. There we go.
But I'm going to blend it out. Mommy,
Hi, Diana.
Mommy, my brush blend.
Uh-oh. I got a little bit of mascara here, so I just take my foundation brush and blend that mascara off. There we go. So a little bit of eyebrows. I have microblading, but I need just a little bit of help because I have to get a touch-up still. So I'm just going to fill in a little bit with Garnet, which is our brown.
Okay.
That's the wrong brush. Here we go.
I'm getting a little bit off because I got some of it off.
Oh my gosh, 22? That's crazy. I feel like 7 is so old. Okay.
Mommy, I'm gonna put a little bit powder on my eyes.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll see how that turns out. There you go. So it just fills in. It just fills in those parts that are microbladed that need a little touch up because I don't have hair there. It totally goes by so fast. Okay. So last thing I need to do are my lips. And I'm going to do some layering today.
Mommy,
so you wipe off.
I'm going to do a little bit layering today.
So I'm going to do Berry, Purple Rain, and Bee Ruby. So these are all in the same kind of plummy purple family. And you need to make sure you shake first. And then wipe, wipe, wipe. And you want to do a really thin layer. So this will be my darkest one.
Mommy, I need some lipstick. Mommy, can I have some lipstick holder?
Kennedy, I need you to wait until I'm done, please.
Good, a little tip. And this one I made an accident. So I thought.
Okay, shh. I use my first layer when I apply to kind of make sure I get a really good base down. So I do go back and forth just to perfect the lines. After that, you want to make sure you're just doing one even swipe.
Make sure to apply some. Mommy, Mom, I need a mirror.
You have to light.
I need a mirror. I need a mirror, Mama. Mommy, I need a mirror.
Okay, so there's Berry. It's super dark.
No, I need a mirror.
For my complexion, it's just a little bit too dark for me. It looks really beautiful on a lot of people. I just like brighter colors a little bit more for me. So I'm going to put Purple Rain on top. This is dry. See, nothing comes off.
Mommy, I need a mirror.
So?
Okay, Mommy, I need a mirror.
No.
Can I have a mirror when
Okay, go to timeout.
But I'm done. I'm not done doing my makeup.
What did I just say?
Okay, I'll be patient.
Oh, thank you. Good choice. Okay, so there is Purple Rain. And then I'm going to brighten it up even more with Bee Ruby, which has a really pretty shimmer to it.
Under in. Mom, I love you.
I love you.
So here's the tip brush.
Okay, so that's done.
Here.
And
Brush.
then we're going to do, oh, my glossy gloss.
Mommy,
I think it's right here. Hold on a second.
Mommy, I'm gonna take this brush in. Can I take this brush in, Mama? Can I? Can I?
Oh, well, this is rose gloss. It's going to have to do. There we go. So, there's my look for today. Super easy. She's going to be so all right. Much better than what we started with, right? So if you guys have questions about anything, I would love to help you. Let me show you. My lipstick doesn't come off. That's just my gloss. And here's a white napkin. Nothing comes off, you guys. This stuff is amazing. You need to get some if you don't already. All right, you guys, have a great day. Thanks so much for hanging out. Bye.